What's going on, guys? It is Nick, and I'm here with a Dragon Ball Super deck profile. This is one of the new things that I'm trying to do on this channel, just to see how it works out. Just recently got into Dragon Ball Super, and I really like it. And this is going to be a Gogeta Blue deck profile. So let's go ahead and just get right into this. We'll start off by talking about the leader. So the leader card here, Goku and Vegeta. So what this card does, once per turn, you can discard a red Goku or a red Vegeta from your hand into the drop area, and then you can draw 2 cards, and then you can add 1 card from your life to your hand. And that's really good because you're able to just constantly draw cards every turn, and then you get to reduce your own life every single turn in order to get to that awakening a lot faster. And then you awaken when your life is 4 or less, draw a card, and then you can choose up to 1 of your energy and restand it. So that's also really good. And then when it's awakened, we have Super Saiyan Blue Fusion Perfected. So obviously auto draw a card whenever you attack. That's really pretty much every leader card has that. But then his battle ability is something I love a lot. So once per turn, you can choose a red card from your hand and place it in your drop area. If there are 2 or more Goku and Vegeta cards, two or more Goku cards and then 2 or more Vegeta cards in your drop zone, and it's your turn, your opponent cannot activate counter skills with energy of less than 2, which is really good. And then you also gain 5,000 power and double strike on this card, which is really good for pressuring your opponent and just like swinging for a whole lot of damage and making your opponent feel the pressure. The whole point of this deck is to just put on pressure, apply pressure. You have a bunch of cards that do double, triple strike, and dual attack and stuff like that. So it's just the whole point of this deck is just swarm your board with a couple Gogeta cards and then just have your opponent just like feel like they can't really do much or else they're going to die. All right. Sorry. So that's the leader. Let's go ahead and get on to the actual deck. We're going to start with the 1-drops. So we of course we play. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way here. Let's go ahead and get started with the 1-drops. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Son Gokus prepping for fusion. This card's really good. You just it's also really good for energy sometimes, just because like sometimes you don't really need this card if you open up really well. You don't really need him, so you can just go ahead and use him for energy. So yeah, he is a 1-drop with 10k. He just says that you search the top 3 cards of your deck for a Vegeta or a Veku card, and you place the remaining at the bottom of your deck. And then at the end of your turn, you have to return this card back to your hand. That's how most of the cards in this deck work. Of like the battle cards that aren't Gogeta and stuff, you just return them to your hand at the end of the turn. All right, and then for another 1-drop, we have 1, 2 Transcendent Strikes. This is a pretty good card just for like popping stuff. Literally all it says is if your leader card is red, you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less and you KO it. That's just really good for applying pressure. Like I said, this whole point of this deck is just to make your opponent feel like they can't do anything. So this is really good for applying pressure. Another thing about this deck is that you're pretty much just stalling until you're able to muster up 4 to 5 energy. Once you can get 5 energy on board, then you're pretty much going to win because then you can just Xeno evolve your Gogeta, which I'll show you soon, and then also bring out one of the strongest cards in my opinion, one of the Gogeta cards. Next we play 3 Is That All You've Got? This is a great counter card. If your leader card's red, you can negate the attack, and then you can choose a red card from your hand, put it in your drop area, and then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, and they lose 15,000 power for the rest of the turn, which is pretty good. Obviously, if they drop down to 0, then you KO them. But regardless, as long as they don't have barrier, they're losing 15,000 power. That can cripple a lot of people. That can make them not able to attack you for like the rest of the turn, pretty much. Then we play 4 copies of the After Image technique. This is another defensive card. Nothing really special about it. It's just here to provide defense. Make sure you don't die. Because there are a lot of decks out there that's kind of swarm stuff. So this deck is a little weak to swarm decks, but like I said, once you get to like that 4th, 5th turn, you're pretty much going to win at that point. Next, Spicy Tech. We're gonna play 4 Feisty Chi-Chis. Now the reason why I play her, she's a barrier card, so if you put her on the field, she's good for a little bit of protection. But her other ability is that if you combo with her while she's on the field, while she's a battle card, you can search for any 1-drop Goku in the deck and then automatically play it. And then if you do that, you get to draw a card. Now, obviously, what 1-drop Goku you're going to be searching? You're going to be searching this one. So then you can, if you don't open him, but you open Feisty Chi-Chi, you pretty much open him. So then you can energy, tap 1, bring out Chi-Chi, and then bring out Goku, search for a Vegeta, and then there you go. And then that Goku goes back to your hand for the next turn. So then now you have Goku and Vegeta in your hand, and then you can start using your leader skill to discard cards and draw. It's just really, really good. Honestly, I'd recommend playing it. It's a super consistent card. Like it really adds a little bit of consistency to the deck. It just helps you with your draw power. Next, we play 4 support attack Gotens. You could play any other super combo card as long as it's red, because this is a red deck, honestly. So whatever, it's up to you. I just played Goten just because that's just the one I chose. He's red, and he works. So he's pretty good. All right, next, moving on to like the Goku and Vegeta cards. We have our 2-drop Preemptive Strike Super Saiyan God Vegeta. He's really good. So Sparking 2, which means for people who don't know, you have to have at least 2 cards in your graveyard, or sorry, drop area. Once you do that, if you have that, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and search out a Gogeta or a Son Goku card that's from the Broly movie and add it to your hand. And then you have to choose a card from your hand and then play it in your drop area, which is, again, really good because you're trying to set up your drop area for this guy and make sure that you have 2 Gokus and 2 Vegetas in there to set up his ability. So this guy lets you discard cards, which is really good. And then his active main, you can, once per turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring their barrier, and they lose 5,000 power for the rest of the turn. That's pretty good because it ignores barrier. 5,000 power to lose isn't all that much, but it can be a big difference in terms of like combos and stuff like that. And then his auto, you return the card to the owner's hand at the end of the turn. So, like I said, that's how pretty much most of them work. So that's Vegeta. Then we have Preemptive Strike Son Goku. We got 4 of those. His ability is pretty much the same. Sparking 2, search for a Gogeta or a Vegeta this time, because, you know, obviously this is already Goku. And then you can add that to your hand, discard a card. And then his activate main, once per turn, this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, which is okay if you want to have a body on board and, you know, just do some damage to your opponent. It's not always great to deal damage to your opponent just because, you know, they're going to awaken faster, obviously. So if you don't feel like you want to do damage to them just so that you can prevent them from awakening faster, then that's pretty good too. So like in my personal opinion, I try not to deal too much damage to my opponent because I don't want them to awaken before I do. Next, we play 2 Harmonic Energy Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas. This card is awesome if you're able to pull it out. What he does, Sparking 3, so 3 cards in your graveyard, search 7 cards in your deck, and then you're going to search for a Goku and play it, and then shuffle your deck. You literally just get to play any Goku card that you want directly from as long as it's from that top 7 cards, which it probably will be because you play a lot of Goku cards. And then his activate main, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it loses 10,000 power. That is fantastic. You ignore barrier, and they lose 10k. That is a lot to lose. Before combo, that's really good, because then your opponent now has to add way more cards to combo over you. Or if they don't have any combo cards, or if they don't want to waste them, they're just not going to conduct the battle that turn because they don't want to have to waste their combo cards and stuff. So that's really good for applying pressure. And then obviously he bounces back at the end of the turn, just like every other card does. And then we have the Harmonic Energy Super Saiyan Blue Goku here. He's pretty good too. Sparking 3, you do pretty much the same thing, except with this guy, if you search a Vegeta, you put him in rest mode and then shuffle your deck. Whereas the Vegeta card says you just play the Goku. Then his activate main, this card gains 10,000 power. And can attack battle cards in active mode for the duration of the turn. That's not that bad, being able to attack cards in battle in active mode. Not super necessary in this deck. Honestly, these cards, I never really use these cards to swing because I'd rather just wait for my Gogeta cards to swing. These cards are just used for me to set up everything and get everything ready to go for Gogeta, because honestly, Gogeta is the game ender here. And then obviously he bounces back at the end of the turn. So that's him. Then we get on to our Vekus. So we play 2 Veku the Fragile and 4 Veku Contents Under Pressure. These guys, they both pretty much do the same thing. The Union Fusion of a red Goku and Vegeta. And this Veku, once you bring him out, you cannot bring out any other Veku cards for the duration. And then this one, the same thing. You can't play any other Veku cards for the rest of the turn. Its activate main is that, this card's activate main is that place this card in its owner's drop area. If your leader card is a red Saiyan card, you can choose up to 1 red Son Goku card and red Vegeta card, or red Vegeta card, and add it to your hand from the drop area. That's not terrible. honestly, I'd rather keep my Vegeta and Goku cards in the drop area. These guys are just here because they're filler cards. In my opinion, I honestly use these guys for energy more than anything. I hardly ever use them, but you do need them for the deck because sometimes their summoning does come up, and you're going to need them to like push damage or something if you really need to. Then we get onto the main course of this deck for Gogeta Unparalleled Fusion Warrior. This guy, fantastic. So cost 4 energy, and then you have to obviously discard a red Son Goku and a red blue Vegeta. He has double strike, and then you draw 2 cards after you summon him, which is ridiculous. Then you can play this card from any area unless your leader card is a sand card, which obviously it is. You're fine. You don't have to worry about that as long as you're using this leader or any other Gogeta leader, and no other color. And so you have to have a red leader, obviously. This card cannot be KO'd and can attack battle cards that are in active mode. It's fantastic. And there's auto. Once per turn, when this card attacks a battle card, switch this card to active mode. Fantastic. You get to restand him. It's amazing. Protects him from being hit by pretty much everything. So he already can't be KO'd, and then you can't even swing at him. So, all right. Then we have our Xeno Evolve right here. Or X Evolve, sorry. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Fusion's Pinnacle. This guy, oh boy. So he only takes 1 red energy as long as you're evolving him over a Gogeta card. Then he has Triple Strike. Amazing. And then his auto, which is Sparking 10, so you have to have 10 cards in your drop zone, which you most likely will by the time you bring him out, because you're milling cards constantly in this deck, honestly. So there's really no way you can't have more than 10 cards in your drop area by the time you bring him out. Your opponent cannot activate battle cards skills for the rest of the turn. Fantastic. Like, you bring him out, locks them out completely, as long as you can get him out. And you're pretty much going to win at that point once you bring him out, because 2 Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta's critical combination. Triple strike, dual attack. Enough said. That's it. It doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't even matter. But the best part is you can lower this guy's cost by 4 as long as your life is 2 or less. So it only takes 4 energy to bring this dude out as long as your life is 2 or less. So the main combo that you want to kind of set up here, let me go ahead and get these cards out. You want to have, on your 4th turn, you should have 4 energy, bring this dude out. He's going to sit there because they're not going to be able to kill him. By that time, your leader should also already be able to set up his ability. You should already have 2 Gokus and 2 Vegetas. So you would swing with lead, deal damage, and then you'd swing with Gogeta, and then he automatically restands, so he's fine. He also can't be destroyed. Or, sorry, he also can't be KO'd. Then next turn, you're going to restand everything. You're going to restand your energy, put down. You have 5 energy now. You tap 1 to evolve with Gogeta Fusion's Pinnacle. Then you should already have 2 life by this point because it should be the 5th turn. You should allow yourself to take damage. Definitely allow yourself to take damage in this deck because you want to. Because then you can just tap 4, bring out Gogeta critical combination. Now you have double strike, triple strike, and dual attack. Your opponent's not living from this. Swing at lead, swing at lead, swing at lead, and then swing again. Come on, man. Like, they're not surviving that. Well, the main thing that you should do with this deck, honestly, you should try and you should definitely save him for last. Like, swing with him last. And what you got to do is, bait out your opponent's negates, bait out their combos and everything like that with your leader and this guy here. That way you can come through with him, deal massive damage, and you pretty much win. That's triple strike, guys. There's no way your opponent's coming back from that as long as they don't have like a handful of negates, which even if they did have a handful of negates, the next turn that happens, like, your opponent's not going to be able to really get rid of your board because most of these guys can't be destroyed by anything, and then they're not going to be able to combo over them or anything like that. So honestly, they're probably not going to even get a chance to get rid of your cards on the field. All right. So like I said, that's the end of the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, go ahead and message me or put in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions for this build, please leave that in the comment section below as well, or you can link me to another video. I'm obviously going to be improving on this deck as time goes on. We're also going to be trying to do some live duels pretty soon with my with a couple of my friends. I believe he's running a Broly deck, and then we're going to be able to do some live duels. I'm also going to take this deck to locals at some point. I'll probably try and vlog there and record my my performance. Probably not record actual gameplay because the card shop I go to probably doesn't allow that. But I'll definitely be able to like vlog and you know, update you guys on how I did and how the deck is performing and stuff like that. So yeah, leave a comment below, like, comment, subscribe, everything, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.